She laughed under her breath, slamming the gavel and pointing at me. Sit down, kid. This isn't a playground. The courtroom chuckled, some even rolling their eyes. To them, I was just a teenager who had wandered into the wrong place. Standing in front of a furious judge. Karen, the HOA president turned self-proclaimed legal expert, smirked from her side of the room. She had dragged my family into court, waving fake HOA documents and shouting that we were illegal occupants on our own land. She thought today would be her victory lap. I kept calm, even when she sneered. Your parents didn't even bother hiring a lawyer. Pathetic. She had no idea. I wasn't just here to watch. I wasn't here as a scared kid. I was here with something she couldn't imagine. The judge leaned back in her chair, still mocking me. And who exactly are you supposed to be? You think you can argue in my courtroom? I straightened my tie, ignoring the laughter. My voice didn't shake when I said, actually, I'm here to represent my family. The silence that followed was sharp. Karen burst out laughing, nearly falling out of her chair. This is Rich. A teenager playing attorney. Judge, throw him out, this is ridiculous. But I didn't flinch. I calmly placed a thick folder on the desk in front of me and slid a document across. The judge raised an eyebrow, her mocking smile fading as she read the first line. Her gavel froze midair. She blinked at me, then at the paper. Wait, this can't be right. Karen frowned, confused. What? What is it? The judge looked straight at me, her tone completely changed. Are you telling me you're a licensed attorney? The room gasped. Karen's face drained of color. I leaned forward, lowering my voice so every word struck harder. Not just licensed. The youngest to ever pass the bar in this state. And today, Karen, I'm here for you. Karen's jaw dropped. The laughter in the courtroom had vanished. Now, everyone was staring at her. And for the first time, she looked scared. Karen jumped to her feet so fast her chair screeched across the floor. This is a scam. He's lying. She shouted, pointing at me like I was some criminal. Her face turned red, her hands shaking. But not with fear, she was furious that her game was falling apart. The judge tapped her gavel, trying to keep control of the room. Ms. Walker, calm yourself. These credentials appear authentic. She glanced at me again, her voice quieter now, more careful. Where did you even get this certification? Karen cut her off before I could answer. He forged it. He's a kid, for crying out loud. Look at him. I didn't blink. Instead, I pulled out a flash drive, sliding it across the desk toward the bailiff. That's my bar exam footage, my official license verification, and something else you'll want to see. Karen scoffed, folding her arms. Please. Another fake stunt. He probably pulled it off YouTube. But the judge ordered it to be played. The screen lit up behind her bench. First showing the official state bar's certification database. My name. My photo. The date I passed. All real. The courtroom murmured, heads turning, whispers spreading like fire. Then the second video started. Grainy footage from a hidden camera. Karen's voice filled the speakers. Sharp and nasty, I don't care if they own that land. I'll bury them in fake paperwork until they can't fight back. By the time they realize it, their house will be gone. Karen froze. Her smirk shattered. That's edited. That's not me. The judge's eyes narrowed. Is that your voice, Ms. Walker? The silence was heavy. Everyone stared at her. She stammered, trying to claw her way out. And no. I don't. But then the video continued, showing her signature on one of the forged HOA notices. Clear. Unmistakable. The courtroom gasped again. Karen's knees buckled slightly, but she gripped the table to stay upright. I leaned back, my voice calm, almost too calm. You wanted this trial, Karen. But now the truth is on record. The judge's face hardened, her tone sharp as steel. Ms. Walker, I strongly advise you to choose your next words very carefully. Because from what I see, this court might not be about the family anymore. It might be about you. Karen's mouth opened, but no sound came out. For the first time, she realized she wasn't in control. And that's when she made her next move. A move so reckless, it shocked the entire courtroom. Karen's eyes darted around the room like a trapped animal searching for an escape. Then, with sudden boldness, she yanked a folder from her oversized purse and slammed it onto the table. "You think you're clever, kid?" she hissed. "Let's see how clever you are when the truth comes out." The judge frowned. "What is this?" Karen flipped the folder open with a dramatic snap. Inside were photographs, dozens of them, printed in glossy color. "These," she announced, her voice rising, "are pictures of this so-called genius and his family breaking HOA rules. Illegal structures, unregistered vehicles, safety violations. Clear proof they've been living here illegally." The courtroom buzzed again. People craned their necks to see. Karen shoved the photos toward the judge, her hands trembling, though she tried to mask it with a smug smile. "Your Honor, this boy has been hiding behind fake legal tricks. But here is evidence no one can deny." For a moment, the judge looked through the photos carefully. "I didn't move. I just watched Karen." The way her lips curled like she thought she had finally won. Then I spoke, my tone steady. "Funny thing about those photos." Karen snapped her head toward me, eyes narrowing. "What?" I leaned forward. "They were taken last week. From inside my backyard. Past the locked fence." The judge froze mid-page. "What are you saying?" I pulled another small folder from my case. Inside were time-stamped images from my security cameras, clear shots of Karen climbing the fence in broad daylight, holding the same camera she used for those photos. The courtroom erupted. Gasps, whispers, even a few laughs. Karen's face went pale. "No. That's not, I was inspecting, I was." But the judge slammed her gavel down hard. "Ms. Walker, are you admitting you trespassed onto private property to obtain these photographs?" Karen stammered, her voice breaking. I was acting in the community's best interest." I let her words hang in the air for a moment before I delivered the blow. "Actually, Your Honor, we already filed a police report the day it happened. The officers are waiting for your call." Karen's mouth fell open. The judge's jaw tightened. "This is turning very serious. Ms. Walker, what you've just presented may be evidence against you." The courtroom burst into murmurs again, louder than ever. Karen's plan had backfired completely. She thought she had cornered me. But now, the spotlight was burning only on her. And that's when her desperation reached its breaking point. She did something no one expected, something that could ruin her forever. Karen's hands shook as she snatched the photos back, her breath coming fast. The courtroom whispers surrounded her, pressing in from every direction. Her eyes darted from the judge to the crowd, then landed on me with pure venom. "You think you've won?" she snapped, her voice cracking. "You think you can humiliate me in front of everyone?" The judge warned her, "Ms. Walker, I strongly suggest you calm yourself." But Karen didn't listen. She reached into her purse again, pulling out a folded sheet of paper and waving it wildly in the air. "This," she screamed. "This is a signed eviction order. This proves you're all squatters. And you," she jabbed her finger at me, "you're a fraud." The room fell silent. The judge's face hardened. "An eviction order? Issued by whom?" Karen stumbled over her words, but then slammed the paper onto the judge's desk. "By the county. It's official. It says they don't belong here, and they need to be out in 30 days. The judge picked it up, scanning quickly. Her brows furrowed. Then her voice dropped cold. "This is not a legitimate county document." Karen froze. "What?" The judge lifted the page, holding it up so the courtroom could see. "This isn't signed by any judge. The seal is copied. And the issuing officer doesn't exist." She shot Karen a glare sharp enough to cut glass. Did you fabricate a government document and present it in my courtroom? The crowd gasped so loudly it echoed. A few people even shouted, she forged it. Karen's face drained of color, but her mouth kept moving, desperate. No, it's real. She tripped over her words like a child caught in a lie. I stood, slow and deliberate. Your Honor, I'd like to submit something for the record. From my folder, I slid out an email printout. It was from the county clerk's office, stamped and signed, dated 3 days ago. The subject line, fake HOA documents under investigation. Attached was a note naming Karen Walker as the complainant's suspect. The judge's hands tightened around the paper. Her eyes burned into Karen. Ms. Walker. Do you realize what you've done? This isn't just harassment anymore. This is forgery. This is a federal offense. Karen shook her head violently, panic taking over. No, you don't understand. I had to do it. If I didn't, they'd take over everything. They don't belong here, they never did. Her voice cracked into a scream. The bailiff stepped forward, ready to restrain her. The judge raised her gavel again. But the room was chaos, people shouting, cameras flashing. And in the middle of it all, Karen broke down. Her voice shrill and wild, I am the law here. Not them, not you, me. The gavel slammed. Enough. The judge thundered. Bailiff, remove her from this courtroom immediately. Karen's eyes widened as the bailiff grabbed her arm. She thrashed, shouting curses. Her carefully crafted image of control shattered before everyone. And just when I thought the storm was over, Karen twisted her head toward me as she was dragged away and hissed. This isn't finished. You don't know who you're dealing with. A chill ran through the room. Because the way she said it. It wasn't just a threat. It sounded like she really did have someone powerful backing her. The judge's gavel slammed again, echoing through the tense courtroom. Karen was dragged toward the doors, still kicking and screaming. You'll regret this. I have friends, important friends. This boy can't save you. The room buzzed with shock. For a moment, even I wondered if she was bluffing. Or if she really had someone powerful waiting in the shadows. The judge leaned forward, her voice cutting through the noise. Ms. Walker, your actions here today are criminal. Forgery, trespassing, harassment, you will be charged accordingly. And as for this family. She turned to me, then to my parents sitting quietly in the back. Her tone softened. They own their property free and clear. This case is dismissed, permanently. A wave of relief washed over the room. My mother's eyes filled with tears, my father finally unclenched his fists. The spectators whispered to each other, first mocking me as a kid. Now stunned into silence. Karen was almost out the door when the bailiff paused. Another officer entered, handing the judge a small folder. She skimmed it quickly, then looked up, her expression grim. It seems Ms. Walker wasn't bluffing. She's been working with someone inside the county office. An official investigation is already underway. Karen's eyes widened in panic. No. They promised, but the door slammed shut behind her, silencing her forever. The courtroom breathed again. The judge turned back to me, studying me carefully. Young man. You may have just exposed something bigger than an HOA dispute. I gave a small nod, straightening my tie. Sometimes the smallest battles reveal the biggest corruption. For a heartbeat, the room was silent. Then, slowly, people began to clap. It wasn't loud, not at first, but it grew. Applause filling the space where laughter had mocked me only an hour earlier. I glanced back at my parents. My father mouthed 2 words, well done. And as I walked out of that courtroom, one thought echoed louder than all the noise around me. They tried to bury us with lies. But they forgot we knew how to fight back. Justice wasn't just served. It was exposed.